That is dangerous. Not in a toxic way. Dangerous like, oh no, somebody saw me accurately. Now I cannot hide behind my fake unworthiness anymore. Because that is the real problem today. Some of us are not being rejected. We are self-rejecting first. We reject love before it can choose us. We reject opportunity before it can stretch us. We reject support before it can expose the lie that we were never meant to be helped. Stay with me, because using the fragrant flower blooms with dignity, Rintaro, Kaoruko, Subaru, and that whole Chidori versus Kikyo social wall, I want to show you how dignity grows when you stop self-rejecting. Not loud dignity, not fake confidence, quiet dignity. The kind that lets you receive good things without treating every blessing like a setup. Watch the scene then move. This is Michael Yearby, your growth strategist, and you're locked in with From Anime to Action, the podcast where we watch the scenes, learn the lessons, and execute. And let me say this early, I am not speaking at you like I never did this. I have smiled in front of people while quietly disqualifying myself in my own mind. I have had moments where somebody opened a door and my first thought was not thank you. My first thought was, how long before they realize they made a mistake? That is a painful way to live. You can be standing in front of something good and still feel like you are trespassing. That is why this anime works so well as a mirror. It is soft, but it is not weak. It is romantic, but it is not shallow. It is gentle enough to make you smile and honest enough to make you look at your own defense mechanisms like, wow, I've really been acting like an emotionally unavailable side character with premium Wi-Fi. Also, if you need music that feels like anime ambition, emotional motion, and main character energy without pretending life is easy, check out Rashad Oliver's anime-fused hip-hop music. The link is in the description below. Put it on while you are walking, thinking, rebuilding, or dramatically looking out the window like the opening credits finally understand you. Now, let us talk about Rintaro. Rintaro is not just a boy from Chidori. He is carrying the reputation of Chidori on his back. That matters. Chidori is treated like the place where rough boys go. Kikyo is treated like the clean, elite, polished world. So before Rintaro even opens his mouth, people have already written a review on him with 0 verified purchase. That is what labels do. Labels are shortcuts. Sometimes they protect people, sometimes they become lazy cruelty. Rintaro gets looked at like his face is a warning sign, like his school uniform is a criminal record, like his quietness means danger instead of discomfort. Reject you. You start shrinking before they ask you to. You start saying, no, it is okay, before anybody even offered. You start acting like you are protecting your peace, but really, you are protecting your shame. Let me define self-rejection in a way that might sting a little. Self-rejection is when you decline yourself before life can respond. It is when you confuse fear with wisdom. It is when you call it being realistic, but really, your shame has a clipboard and is acting like a certified life coach. You do not apply for the job because you assume they want somebody better. You do not answer the message because you assume they are just being nice. You do not go to the event because you assume you will look out of place. You do not accept the compliment because if it lands, you might have to admit your old identity is outdated. And that is scary because sometimes unworthiness becomes familiar. It hurts, but at least you know the rules. If you believe you are not worth good things, then rejection feels like confirmation instead of surprise. Love feels suspicious. Rest feels undeserved. Opportunity feels like a trapdoor in a fancy outfit. Rintaro's struggle is not just that other people misunderstand him. It is that he has learned to expect misunderstanding. That is a different wound. When people misread you once, you can correct them. When life trains you to expect it, You start living like every room already voted against you. And Kaoruko becomes powerful in this story because she interrupts the pattern. She does not fix him like a project. She does not perform some magical romance anime speech and delete all insecurity in one episode. She simply keeps showing him evidence, warmth, respect, honesty, curiosity. The kind of evidence shame hates because shame prefers dramatic assumptions over quiet truth. Now, before somebody in the comments says, Michael, so we just trust everybody now? No, absolutely not. Do not turn this into gullible anime saint behavior. Kaoruko is not teaching us to ignore red flags. She is teaching us not to invent red flags just because we are scared of being close. That is the difference. A red flag is behavior. A label is a shortcut. A wound is history. Fear is a prediction. Wisdom knows the difference. Shame does not. Shame takes one bad experience, puts it in a suit, and lets it become your whole legal department. So here are 5 lessons to stop self-rejecting and start growing quiet dignity. Lesson 1. Name the label before it names you. Rintaro is dealing with labels like scary, delinquent, chidori, not good enough, not safe enough, not polished enough. In real life, your label might be divorced, broke, too old, too young, too emotional, too quiet, too loud, military, civilian, single parent, behind in life, not educated enough, not attractive enough, not spiritual enough, not masculine enough, not feminine enough. People love labels because labels make complexity easier to judge. But the moment you can name the label, you stop letting it operate in the dark. You can say, I am not reacting to this moment. I am reacting to the old label that says, I do not belong here. That one sentence creates space, and space is where dignity starts breathing again. Lesson 2. Stop auditioning for rejection. Some of you walk into good moments already performing your exit. You say things like, I know you are busy. I know this probably will not work. I know you probably have better options. I know this is silly. I know I am not the usual type. My friend, you are not being humble. You are handing people a script and begging them to cast you as the person they leave. Rintaro could easily treat Kaoruko's kindness like a misunderstanding. But the lesson is to let people show you who they are before you punish them for what you fear. Pause, breathe. Do not turn every soft moment into a courtroom where you prosecute yourself. Lesson 3. Let evidence challenge shame. Shame is emotional fake news with excellent marketing. It repeats the same headline until you stop checking the facts. Evidence sounds like this. They showed up. They listened. They respected my boundary. They remembered what mattered. They corrected themselves. They stayed kind when it was inconvenient. They saw me clearly and did not run. Kaoruko's presence matters because she becomes evidence. Rintaro's friends matter because they become evidence. Even Subaru matters because her protective suspicion shows us how assumptions can soften when real character keeps showing up. You cannot heal unworthiness with one motivational quote. You heal it by collecting honest evidence and letting that evidence update your identity. Lesson 4. Receive without creating emotional debt. This one is for the people who cannot accept anything without immediately trying to repay it, minimize it, or question it. Somebody compliments you and you start doing emotional gymnastics. Somebody helps you and now you feel like you owe them your entire kidney, your Netflix password, and a handwritten apology for being alive. Receiving is not laziness. Receiving is not weakness. Receiving is not manipulation. Receiving is the discipline of allowing good to reach you without turning it into a debt trap. When Kaoruko's kindness reaches Rintaro, the growth is not that he becomes dependent on her. The growth is that he learns he is allowed to be seen without immediately apologizing for taking up space. Lesson 5. Move like your dignity is already invited. This is the identity shift. You do not wait until everyone approves before you act with dignity. You act with dignity so your nervous system can learn a new normal. You show up. You answer the message, you apply, you ask the question, you accept the seat. You stop talking to yourself like you are a problem with shoes on. Quiet dignity says, I do not need to be louder than my shame. I just need to stop obeying it. That is the line. I do not need to be louder than my shame. I just need to stop obeying it. And if this framework hits you, this is exactly the kind of work I unpack in the anime mindset. It is not about pretending anime solves your life. It is about using the stories you already love to build discipline, resilience, leadership, confidence, and purpose in the real world. The link is in the description below. Now let us add some nuance because the internet is going to internet. The internet wants you to pick the dumbest team possible. One side says, every man is secretly dangerous until proven harmless by a 27-episode apology arc. The other side says, every woman is manipulating you unless she communicates like a tax document and never has a feeling past 3 p.m. Both are lazy writing. And as anime fans, we should hate lazy writing. We sat through filler arcs. We know the difference between tension and nonsense. Subaru's protectiveness over assumption. Real love does not require you to become small. Real opportunity does not require you to become fake. Real dignity does not require you to be perfect before you are worthy of good things. But let me be honest. When you start receiving good things, the old version of you may panic. You might want to sabotage. You might become suspicious. You might start looking for the catch. You might tell yourself, I am just being careful, when really you are scared that if you let this matter, losing it would hurt. I get it. When you are used to disappointment, hope feels irresponsible. But hope is not the same as delusion. Hope is the courage to let new evidence have a vote. So no, this is not a message saying accept every person, every offer, every relationship, every opportunity, every apology. Absolutely not. Discernment still matters. Boundaries still matter. Pattern recognition still matters. But do not use discernment as a fancy word for hiding. Do not use boundaries as a prison. Do not use standards as a mask for fear. Ask yourself this: am I saying no because this is wrong for me or because being chosen makes me uncomfortable? Am I walking away because there is danger or because kindness feels unfamiliar? Am I protecting my peace or protecting my shame from being challenged? That last question will change your life if you answer it honestly. Rintaro and Kaoruko crossing labels and assumptions shows us this. The wall between people is sometimes real. Class is real. Reputation is real. Gender tension is real. Social pressure is real. Family expectations are real. Money stress is real. Feeling behind is real. But the wall does not get to be your identity unless you keep bowing to it. You are not unworthy because you have been misunderstood. You are not unworthy because you have been overlooked. You are not unworthy because your past has awkward chapters, messy pages, and a few scenes you would skip if life had a recap button. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to be chosen. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to become the kind of person who does not panic every time life hands you something gentle. So here is the recap. Name the label before it names you. Stop auditioning for rejection. Let evidence challenge shame. Receive without creating emotional debt. Move like your dignity is already invited. That is how you shift from I am lucky they tolerate me to I am learning to receive what aligns with me. That is how you shift from I better leave before they leave to I can stay present and let truth unfold. That is how you shift from unworthy outsider to dignified main character. And please hear me, Main character does not mean selfish. It means responsible for your arc. It means you stop giving every crowd, every comment section, every old wound, every ex, every embarrassing memory, and every social label permission to narrate your worth. If unworthiness is one of your stuck patterns, do not just nod at this video and go right back to emotionally drop-kicking every good thing that gets close to you. Take the Stuck Pattern Scorecard. It is a quick assessment that helps you see which hidden emotional pattern is blocking your next level, whether that is hesitation, performance, control, drift, unworthiness, or fear of consequences. The link is in the description below. Because the goal is not to hype you up for 10 minutes and then leave you alone with the same pattern. The goal is to give you language, clarity, and a next move. And next up in this series, we are going into Orb on the movements of the earth with the theme, You Know the Truth, but Fear the Cost. That one is for everybody who knows what they need to say, do, change, or admit, but the consequence has them moving like a background NPC near a boss fight. Grab the free booklet, check the next video, and remember this: dignity grows when you stop self-rejecting.